Yeah, the same old Kadlec with footballdiehards.com. It's the 2022 season, preseason. We're going to do an interesting little experiment, I'll call it. We're going to use Mike Clay from ESPN's Rankings and Sleepers and Busts. We're going to do a mock draft and see if we can build an excellent lineup and try and show a draft strategy where we can optimally get players from his sleepers and and not his busts and his rankings, and see how that works out with a mock draft and some strategy that we're going to employ. So let's get started.
Here is Mike Clay's rankings from that article of the quarterbacks, running backs, and wide receivers, and the circles on there represent the previous slides, sleepers, and also things that we noticed were sleeper appearing from the ADP. And you've got players like, well, first off, Aaron Rodgers, quarterback, was on his list, and he's at 12, which is kind of where he is, but he's got him as a sleeper, so we're going to try and draft him in this mock. Interesting, at the top of the running backs, the second running back is Javonte Williams for Denver, which is really high. And Najee Harris, sorry. And even Swift from Detroit is pretty high, and he's got Breece Hall is at 11, Akers is at 12, and Dobbins is at 13. And continuing on down, notice at 23 you have Ken Walker III at 23. So he's got him fairly high compared to normal people. So it looks like he thinks he's going to take over from Penny there in Seattle. So we'll probably try and draft him. And then Miles Sanders is one of his sleepers at 28, which isn't really ranked as high as his sleeper tag. But anyway, we'll watch him in the draft. And in the wide receivers, you got Justin Jefferson, number 1. T. Higgins is 6, which is very high. And he has Deebo Samuel above Kupp at 4, and Kupp is at 5. And Devontae Adams is down to 11, which is fairly low compared to the ADP. So he's essentially saying he doesn't want to draft him, except if he falls to the bottom of the second or the third, which I predict will not happen. Then he's got some rookie wide receivers. Drake London at 15. Garrett Wilson at 16. Treylon Burks for Tennessee at 20. So, that's a lot of guys, a lot of rookies he's expecting to perform as essentially wide receiver 2s. Yeah, Emil Kadlec back here again. We have less than a minute before the draft starts. We're using Yahoo. It's a 10-team league. It's PPR. 2 running backs starting, 1 quarterback starting, 2 wide receivers starting, a tight end starting, a flex, wide receiver, running back, or tight end, and a kicker and a defense and a few bench players. Good. So you can see the players taken right in the middle of the board. I haven't been paying attention. Let's go down this thing real quick. We've got Henry, who's gone. Let's see, Jefferson's gone. Chase is gone. How much? We got 45 seconds. Sorry, I'm going to have to do this like this. Taylor, I'm sure, is gone. Lamb, let's see. Lamb is not gone. So according to Mike Clay, we should pick Lamb, who now I can't figure out how to find Lamb. Okay, let's go to players. And let's find Lamb, and let's draft Lamb. Draft. And we'll go back to draft results, and there we are. So we're getting closer now. We get to pick twice. So we've got Lamb. Javon Williams went way early. Or did he? I don't think Javon Williams went. So let's take Javon. We're supposed to draft him before we were supposed to draft Lamb. But, of course, we're going around the corner. All right, now I think I finally figured out everything that's going. Nahi Harris was actually just below on Mike Clay's at the 6th overall. So we got some pretty nice picks there, Lamb and Javonte Williams. He actually had, he had Jonathan Taylor is gone. Okay, yeah, he had him in that order. So we actually picked right. Okay, We've got Nixon's gone. Let's go back to the top. We have Henry who's gone. I got to get my thing set up here. Luckily we're at the end, so we got a lot of thinking. Devontae Adams is gone. He didn't have him very high. He was a 22nd overall player. Of course, Jonathan Taylor's gone. Let's see. Jefferson went. I'm sure Chase went. Let's see. Eckler went. McCaffrey went. Cook went. Chase went just before us. It's too bad. That'd have been fun. Okay, Chubb has went, and he's got Chubb, if you recall, somewhat of as a bust player. And yeah, sure enough, I'm looking for him here, and I can't even find him. Yeah, here he is, 47th player. So he's got him fairly. Swift went, and he has Swift as his number 10 overall pick, so he has him pretty high. All right, so we're rolling pretty good. Kamara is off the board. Our first tight end in Kelsey, and boom, our first quarterback in Josh Allen. And he had Kelsey as his third tight end. All right. I'm keeping up with this thing. So we got the guy at the number 1 pick. So he's going to get a two picks here. He took Derrick Henry as his first pick. Excuse me. And he takes Sutton, Cortland Sutton. Apologize for my phone ringing away. We'll probably hear that more than once because I'm not smart enough to be able to fix that. Okay, so he took Mark Andrews, Cortland Sutton, and then Mark Andrews. I'm going to have a fun time trying to keep up with this. I need a co-manager here. Fournette went. He has Leonard Fournette at 20. Aaron Jones, he is at 22. And then Samuel he's got that guy at number 4. So that's a bargain under Mike Clay's. Evans is gone. Who he has way down at 24 on his list. Barkley has gone. All right, it's our pick. Now let's see what's available because I'm behind. I'm sure McCaffrey went. Yeah, McCaffrey's gone. Well, actually, of course, his next available player is T. Higgins. So, guess we should take T. Higgins. We just got to find him here. Let's go to players. And he's probably going to be down this row a little bit because there's Rashad Higgins. So, evidently, Higgins is already gone. So, let's go back. How much time do I have? 18 seconds to figure out who I'm going to take. That's cute, isn't it? Let's take Bryce Hall because I don't have any. He has him fairly high on his list. Now let's go back to the board real quick. We've got 2 running backs and a receiver. We could look at the tight ends. He has, and we could look at the wide receivers. Let's really quick look at the next tight ends. Let's go to tight ends. Okay, 35 seconds left. We've got Pitts, and it's the top of the 3rd round. Whoa, that's a tough call. Let's go with Pitts. He's got him as his number 1 tight end, and we're going to draft Pitts. We got 20 seconds left, so we don't have to worry about tight end for a while now. We're probably going to have to, this next pick here, let's go. We probably really need a receiver. So let's go to the receivers real quick. I got, what did it just do? Results. No, never mind. I had taken Bryce, so I got plenty of time to think. Okay, sorry. So we've gotten some guys that are on my calls cheat sheet. We got Brees Hall. We got Pitts. We got Javon Williams, who he had very high on his overall. Let's go back to the overall. He had him as his 5th overall player. So we got that guy, and Lamb was his 4th overall player. So we've done quite well with the Mike Clay's cheat sheet overall, etc. So the question is, how well am I going to keep up with all this? It's going to be very difficult because I'm that slow. We probably should go receiver next. His next receiver is Higgins is already gone. Let's glance over why somebody would take Higgins. Yes, Higgins went. Gosh darn it. So Waddle is his next player. Let's go put Waddle up on the system here under wide receivers. Fascinating, huh? We're going to stick him up there. Waddle's the next receiver. Diggs, I assume Hill's gone. He's got DJ Moore as the next one, who's probably gone, and then Metcalf, who has not gone yet. So I'm looking for DJ Moore just in case. So we're going to go back to draft results. We're going to turn this corner here. Do you think that Waddle would make it to us, or Metcalf? I don't think Metcalf will. But perhaps Waddle will. All right. David Montgomery's gone. The running backs are flying off the board. Akers went. Connor went for Arizona. Ezekiel Elliott went in the top of the 4th round, which sounds about right. Dobbins gone. Now, he's an interesting guy. He was one of the sleepers for Mike Clay, although we had him as like the 28th overall, which he may come out down to the bottom of this next round. This guy better hurry up and make his pick. He's got 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. He just made a pick. What's wrong with him? Okay, Terry McLaurin went. Interesting. Waddle's probably going to go before us. So we need to come up with a couple more players. Okay, A.J. Brown went earlier. Hill went a couple rounds ago. We have 2 quarterbacks out. Now we're looking for Aaron Rodgers. That is Mike Clay's sleeper. And he's typically going to go later in the draft. We need to wait till about 8, 9, 10, 11 quarterbacks go. And I think we can snag him then. We don't have to worry about a tight end. So we're basically hopefully going to get a decent receiver here, because we really need to go receiver. Or we're going to get 2 players in a row. We could go get Dobbins too, if that's the next guy. So let's see. Metcalf's still available and Waddle's still available. This is the fun when you're at an end like this. We're at the 10 position to to wait and wait and wait, even though it's a 10-team league and somebody snags your players. You always have to have extra players that you're looking at. Let's go back to players real quickly, and let's go back to receivers. He doesn't. Where does he have Mike Williams? He's got him fairly late. He's got DJ Moore, who it appears that he is gone. Then you have Metcalf. You have Godwin. Where's Godwin in here? Unfortunately, I'm not keeping track of who's been taken because here's Godwin. So let's put Godwin up there. All right, it appears to be my team, my pick. And we still have Waddle. And we have Metcalf, so we should probably take, we may want to just go bang, bang, receiver, receiver. Then we'll have 3 receivers and 2 running backs and a tight end. And then, so let's take Waddle. And I guess we should take Metcalf. He's the next player on Mike Clay's list. So now we have a nice balanced roster, which isn't as always good. But we've got 3 receivers, 2 running backs, and a tight end. So we're going to hit bottom of round 7. Right now we've got 4 quarterbacks that have gone. Aaron Rodgers, unless things have changed, is around the 12th or 13th or 11th quarterback ranked typically at ADP. So we'll see what happens when we get to the bottom of 7 and the top of 8. Do we want to, we'll see how many quarterbacks are gone, and do we want to wait around, or do we want to take our quarterback at that point? Now we have 5 quarterbacks gone. It's interesting. Is DJ Moore taken? And next time I do this, I know the idea is DJ Moore's gone, so I don't have to worry about him, which makes sense. Godwin's still there, unless I've missed it, which really, he's practicing now, so all of a sudden maybe he's going to come back sooner than we think. Which, guess what? That means he should be considered at this point in the draft. Well, let's see. Where did Dobbins go? He's had to have gone by now. Curious. Let's go to players. Let's go to running backs. And there's Dobbins on the pup list. So people are staying away from Dobbins. Okay, here we are. Do you think Dobbins will come all the way around to our next pick? I do not think so. There's 9, 10, 11 more picks before our pick. Allen Robinson is gone, who's a bust for Mike Clay. So that doesn't hurt our feelings. Now remember, we don't like to go too early, but we're at the end. We're at pick 10. Maria's Genius Team, if you can read that on the board. So we sometimes may have to come out a little ahead, because you've got essentially 18 picks between your picks when you go around twice. Oh, Dobbins went, which doesn't surprise me. We're just hoping some of these guys sneak into us. Another one of his sleepers right now was Travis Etienne for Jacksonville. So let's put him in our queue here, assuming he's still available. I don't see him. Yes, okay, let's put this guy in because I want to look at him later. Yeah, so Travis was taken. Wasn't paying attention on that. Not that I would have taken him this early, but yeah, he went in the 5th round. He went with the 7th pick in the 5th round. So we missed him in between Pitts and Waddle. Not that we wanted to take him that early. All right, we got another quarterback. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6 quarterbacks have been taken. And we're going to try and go for Aaron Rodgers. That's Mike Clay's sleeper quarterback. Let's see. Harper, Holmes is gone. Allen's gone. Let's see. Lamar Jackson's gone. Jalen Hurts gone. Burrow is gone, which actually is one of Mike Clay's busts, believe it or not. Okay. So we still have Godwin available, who is a tempting player now that he's healthy, or at least he's starting in When I say starting, I mean he's practicing. Mike Thomas is gone. Marquez Brown, who's a fun guy, and I guess he can go 126 miles an hour in his car. Luckily, there was no accident or anything. So the next guy on the overall list for Mike Clay is Chris Godwin. Then it's Drake London, and then Breece Hall, who we already took. So let me get this London guy up. That's a really interesting pick to have this early in the game. But that's what his cheat sheet says, and we're going to go with it. Here's London here, who would be our next player available. The next after that is Garrett Wilson. A lot of receivers right there in a row. Let's see if I can't find him. I could spell him right. There he is. He's a Jets. All right, so let's go back to the board. There's one pick before us. So we're either going to get Godwin or London. And by golly, what do we have here? We have Singletary went. So we're going to take Godwin. That's the next person on Mike Clay's list. So let's click him and let's draft him. Now, he has London next. Garrett Akers is already gone. I wonder if Antonio... let's just go straight with his list. How many quarterbacks? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we're getting to that point, but I'll tell you what we'll do. We're just going to take London because that's his next player on his list. Now we're flush with receivers. We are flush with receivers. We've got even 2 bench receivers, 2 starting receivers. So we need to take a running back on the next turn and seriously think about Aaron Rodgers. Now, because this is a 10-team league, and there's a good chance that Rodgers won't be picked in the first 9 players. There's a point where some of these guys have a 15-round draft. So there's going to be some people that take 2 running quarterbacks. So can we wait on Rodgers past the 9th round and go to the bottom of the 10th round? Well, maybe we can. So let's look at some of the running backs here. As you can see, the players whipping off the list. These guys are drafting quite quickly. That's another interesting guy he's got. He's got Ken Walker fairly high. Let's go find him. We may be able to get him, and he's got Miles, even though he doesn't have him that high. Kenneth Walker is his next running back at 23. He's got Clyde Edwards-Helaire, who scares the heck out of me, but he's got him at 24. Eli Mitchell, he's got at 25. I think Eli's gone. James Cook, my gosh, he's got James Cook at 26, and then James Robinson. Let's click those 2 guys. Let's go back to draft results. So if you go look up here on the board on the far left, I think you can barely see it. Yes, you can. Walker should be up. We need to move these guys. Okay, I don't know how to do that. Looks like I'm not that smart, guys. So the next guy on our list is Walker. I think Walker may make it. Now, if I was smart enough, I could be able to move that. Oh, there, I did it. My gosh. I've got Algeria. Sorry about that. I'm supposed to know how to pronounce these names. And we have Sanders, and then we have Cook. Sanders is where? Sanders is below Cook, below Cook, so he has James Robinson. I think we're going to get Walker. Walker is his 23rd pick. Now, ADP-wise, maybe we could wait, but we are at the end. We're getting out into the draft here. We're at the 9th round, where ADP, sometimes you have to reach a little farther because ADP becomes less valuable when you get later in your draft. Well, by golly, Hunter went, and let me see if I can't readjust this. Anyway, I can't seem to find a way to do that. I'm not smart enough. So let's take Walker. So we got another running back, and we waited a while for a running back. Now, do we want to go with the quarterback, Aaron Rodgers? I think we can get by not. I think let's try a little pushing here. Because there's only 10 teams in this league and there's only 9 other quarterbacks, I'm going to let that slide. His next player on his is Clyde Edwards-Helaire. He's got Eli Mitchell, who I think already went. So the next guy's Cook. So where's Cook? Here's Cook right here. James Cook. Let's do it. We're going to pick Cook. And we're going to wait 18 more picks to see where we're at. Now let's see if we can't find a way to get this system to allow us to move this. No, it's not going to do it for us. I don't want this guy sitting there. Okay. All right. So I can see a little more of the board now. Okay. All right. Kareem Hunt, a very good pick there by teams 8. People kind of forgotten about Kareem Hunt for whatever reason. Now, where are we at now? We have got 2 receivers, 3, 4. We got 4 receivers, and we have 4 running backs. And we've got 2 spots left, I guess. Because we're going to have to, we have 15, we're going to take a kicker in the defense, so that leaves us 13. And we're going to be in pick 11 and 12 and 13. So we got 3 more players to take, and we still haven't taken our quarterback. And notice you've, in round 9 and so far in round 10, we don't have another quarterback going. We've got one. Well, you can't see all the quarterbacks. But anyway, defenses are starting to go. Elijah Moore, personally I like Elijah Moore for some strange reason. He's a little farther down Mike Clay's list, so we missed him. Now, just kind of glancing at his list, we already took London. Did Garrett already go? Let's go before we get too far here and see what wide receivers, because we probably should be considering a wide receiver. He doesn't. He has Ayuk. Okay, Jamie Wilson, who's been hurt, but I think he went, so we don't have to worry about that. He's got Olive. Where the hell is he? Let's catch up with this thing. His next receiver is Jamison Williams, but I think he already took a player. He's been taken. Chris Olive, and then he's got Amari Brown, who I'm sure has been taken by now. Let's take a quick glance. He's gone, from what I can tell. Then he's got the Philadelphia Devontae Smith, I bet still available. Let's do a quick search here. Yeah, here he is. I've already put him in my queue. How do you like that? I bet Judy's already been gone. And it's Bateman. Bateman's a guy that's very curious. And he's not, he is already taken. Darn it. Marshall Brown. And then he's got Dotson. He's got a lot of rookies in his list. Let's go to draft results. It's kind of slowed down here. Team 4 is sluggishly running here. He's got 30 seconds left. And he took Cordell Patterson. So, interesting decisions here. We have 5 receivers. We have 4 running backs. And we still don't have our quarterback. Prescott just went. So, we've got a lot of quarterbacks taken. So, now we've got 12 and 13. And then we have to take a kicker in the defense. So, we probably should take one of these receivers, and we probably need to take our quarterback. So, who was his latest one? I said it was Oliver. So let's go with his list. And now let's go. We got to go over to quarterbacks, which I should have already set up. I apologize. And there's Rodgers, and we're going to draft Rodgers. So we got Rodgers, and it's a 10-team league. But we got Rodgers in the 12th round. That's pretty darn good. And that was the guy we were targeting because Mike Clay has him as a sleeper quarterback. So now we're going to go 13, 14, 15. So I've got one more player we can take other than the quarterback we already took. And let's go back and look quickly. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 wide receivers. 1, 2, 3, 4 running backs. It's a tough call. I like Algier for Atlanta. He'd be a good wild card. We've got some good players. Even, my gosh, James is actually a really good player. We got 2 running backs right there and 3 receivers that are really good players that hopefully we could get with that last pick. It looks like Will took Alexander Madison, and it looked like it was a timeout. All right, so we've got a little time here to think, but we do have a lot of players stacked up here that we'll be ready to take for that one pick, the bottom of the 13th round. Then we got a kicker and a defense. Trey Lance, and notice that team took Trey Lance, which is the 7th team, had doubled up in quarterback. Even with a 15-team roster, he doubled up at quarterback. And so it's probably smart of us to take Aaron Rodgers and not try and really push the envelope. You got to be careful. Quarterbacks you can take late. There's no doubt you can take quarterbacks late. But you can wait too long also. And people will start doubling up on quarterbacks, and you potentially will miss the guy that you want. It's a fast draft. It was a 60-second draft. It's 15 rounds, including kicker and defense. So the first 13 rounds here are the meat of the draft. Oh, there's our other tight end that we were considering was Pat Fairmuth, but we ended up getting Pitt is our number 1 tight end, so we don't need another tight end. Some defenses and kickers are going. Especially in a 10-team league, I just don't worry about that. There's so many great players out there in a 10-team league. I can let a defense go and a kicker go. And then also, as the season starts, there's free agency where you'll find a hot team, defensive team, or a hot kicker, and you can just pick them up. So it's hard for me in a 10-team league to take a kicker or a defense other than the last 2 rounds. Now there again, we had Kirk Cousin, who is a double up on team 1 quarterback. He took Hurts and Cousin, so 2 high quality players there. And then notice he took San Francisco defense in the 8th round, and I just think that's too. I just don't like that. I just think you're losing out on too many good depth on your roster when you can get a good defense or kicker in a 10-team, especially in a 10-team league. So here we coming up. 4 more before us. Right now we're looking at either Algier or Robinson. And I think we should probably take Robinson. He could even be a starting running back for the Jacksonville Jaguars this year. He did, he's practicing. Oh, somebody snagged Robinson from us. Oh, that hurt. So I guess we'll go Algier. Let's take a quick look at the running backs just to see if there's somebody that I've forgotten about. Nehai Himes is a good one. Jamal Williams. Pierce is a good idea too. But between Pierce and Algier, I'm really not sure which to go there. I tell you what, let's go Algier. And then let's go and make sure he has Wilson above Dotson in his rankings. There's Dotson. Yeah, he's got Wilson at 16. Now, that's going to give us a lot of Jared Dotson, the New York Jets. We're going to pick him. So that rounds out our 13 players other than our kickers and our defense. Oh, actually, I screwed up. I should have taken a kicker or defense there. Nonetheless, Algier is a good late round taker, last player taken, depending on how deep your rosters are and how many draft picks you're going. So, not a bad draft for us at the 10 pick. We got Lamb in the first. We got Javonte Williams, which Mike Clay has rated really high, so that was great. And then we also, in the bottom of the second, the top of the third, we got Breece Hall, which is a very good pick. And again, one of his sleepers. We did well. Kyle Pitts is not really a sleeper, but he was high on his list. Waddle was kind of a higher player. Metcalf was higher. Godwin was really low ranked because of his injury, but everybody let him go, so we got him. London, he had like ranked 15th. So we've got a couple of, and we have Oliver, who's another rookie, and we have Garrison. We got too many receiver rookies, and we got Walker, Kenneth Walker, who's a rookie, but he may very well be the starter in Seattle. And James Cook is supposedly in camp, doing well, and we got him in the 10th round. I guess that would be the top of the 10th. And we got our quarterback in the 12th. Algier, sorry, I'm going to pronounce names wrong, in the bottom of the 13th, and we weren't supposed to take Garrett Wilson. We were supposed to take a kicker of a defense. Shame on me. We'll let this draft continue on here. It's going to take about another 2-3 minutes. So this went well. I think we followed Mike Clay's roster and sleepers fairly well, and I think we got a pretty darn good team. I probably need somebody with me to make sure we're crossing these names off because I may have forgotten some of them. And hey, we only got one extra phone call. That's not bad. And unfortunately, I don't know how to turn that off, so we're going to have to listen to that. Yep. You'd think I'd be tech savvy, but I guess not. So I'll give that guy a call back in a minute as we finish this draft up. And I like Dallas's defense this year. I think they're going to have a good chance of being a great defense. Let's see if they've gone. My eyes aren't that good. Baltimore, I always like Baltimore, but they aren't necessarily as good as they used to be. New Orleans, I don't think Dallas's defense is gone. I guess I could take them even though I don't have a kicker. Here goes team defense. No, Dallas is gone. That's very annoying. All right, we'll take a defense just for the heck of it here when we get down here. Or we won't. We'll draft another player. Just kidding. Pierce is an interesting guy for Houston. He's going to have to, work to get some touches, but he's a good rookie, and they really don't have a great set of running backs there. Dotson for Washington's been playing really well, working very hard. But I'm not supposed to draft those guys. I'm just going to take Kansas City's defense. I don't even have Mike Clay's defenses on here. I don't even think they were in there. I just ignored them. So yeah, let's take Kansas City just for the heck of it. Now their draft is complete. Thanks for listening. I think it was a fun draft, and you can observe the rest of them. Hopefully, on the article, we'll have the whole board on it so you guys can review the board. So thank you so much. It was a fun 35 to 40 minutes, and good luck in your drafts this weekend.